Okay, today's video is going to be a little short one, pretty much to the point. This is going to show you how you get your horse, doing some log cutting, and of course we're going to get a boat in this video. Starting out here, of course, we get Vita seed mission, which is going to be what we're going to feed our horse with. But as you can see, he gives us a pack, and we have to actually deliver it. So we have to take this over to the stable master. And I also apologize, there's not going to be any music behind this. I had a little audio accident with this clip, but that's okay. You know, accidents happen. So we delivered it to the actual stable guy. I wouldn't bore you with that walk because it took a little bit. So now we had to plant the Vita seed, which we pulled it out of our inventory and placed it down here. And you have to wait about 20-30 seconds for it to grow. And then we harvest it. This is pretty much how you're going to do all of your seeds. Of course, we turn it and you get to pick between brown, gray, or I don't know, black. I don't know what the other color was. So I just picked one. Doesn't really matter. So now we have to actually raise it. So we go into our inventory. We find our foil. And we're going to place it. And of course, right here it just says how you can move it around, you can place it better, you can turn it, twist it. It's not gonna matter. Just put it down. We're doing this out in the open. When you get your farm, then it's gonna start mattering how you plant stuff. But all right, so first we pet it, then we give it food because we grew the food, remember? So now it's growing. A little baby horse. Okay, so I actually went and bought a couple more Vita seeds because I didn't know if I was going to have to feed it some more. Plus, I was trying to get used to practice planting. So I plant a couple here out in public, which we'll talk more on public planting later. Trust me, it was not pleasant. So you have to actually wait again for them to grow. Okay, so I'm getting the Vita seeds that I planted. And actually, I'm giving the foil some foil. See, it's just weird when I say it. Baby horse. I gave him water. I'm washing him, actually. Giving him love. And so we have to wait 46 seconds. 46 seconds for him to grow. So after that 46 seconds, you actually dance with him. I know it's weird, but I guess we're dancing with him, so he knows that we come in peace, as they say. And then boom, full-grown horse with fireworks and everything. Riding, of course, is pretty easy. You equip the horse to your quick start bar, pretty much like any game. If you played MMOs before, of course. So we will summon our horse. There he is. And then you click on him to get on. Ta-da! Our first horse! Hooray! Now, of course, while I was waiting on the horse there, we got logging missions. I went and got a logging mission while I was waiting for that horse to get. And here we are doing an iron vein, getting some iron. Next, we have to log 3 sturdy logs. And here's another tip. There's a little barrel here on the side of the road. If you go and drink from it, you get a buff. It buffs you. Look at that. Boom. It's just a little speed. It's nothing fantastic. But there's our tree. So what we're going to do is actually you're just going to click on the tree itself. Chop, 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 as they say. Boom. And the tree falls over. Because that's what trees do when you chop them down. I was looking at it, I was like, that's okay. It's pretty good animation if you're going to make the tree fall down after I chop it. But 3 of 3 completed. But I see more. Let's get some more logs here. Because I'm an overachiever. We've already talked about this. Overachieving. You can earn bonus XP by over-exceeding quests. Which this one doesn't let you go too much. Just 1 extra tree. But, I mean, I got 2 extra logs, so I mean, I guess it wasn't too bad. I can't complain. So we're going to go turn it in. And here is my new belts. Do I want a belt? Which one do I want? Leather seems to be my choice these days. Okay, so I got a skill. We went up a level. And of course, I got sorcery not too long ago. Now I gotta decide, do I want the flame bolt or do I want the freezing arrow? Technically, for the combo, I have to have both. But which one do I really want just first? Here in a second, I'm gonna pick the flame bolt. In hindsight, I should have chosen the freezing arrow just because it slows them down, but it really doesn't matter because once I said before, I mean it's just beginning of the game, so it's nothing fantastic that's really gonna hurt you. Okay, so here we actually make it to the docks, and I turn in my quest, and this is where we actually have to report to the dock master, and he's going to give us our boat. And this is our first beginner's boat. If you look other things up on YouTube and things online, you will see that you can actually get huge boats that you can do things with. You're going to go on fishing expeditions. You're going to go treasure hunting. You actually make deep sea diving gear and go treasure hunting in the ocean. So here you have to actually pick a boat. It says just to pick one. They're all the same. I don't see anything that is hugely spectacular between all these. They're the same wooden boat. It'd be different if they had different colors, but they don't. Now I have to equip it, of course, to my hotbar because, I mean, we have to summon it. Okay. And that is telling you that you can expand your slots up to 48. That's okay. Here, I'm actually going because I need to sell stuff. So I need to find a merchant to sell things, and nobody. There's nobody on the docks that wants to sell anything. Nothing. I have a trader here, so I'm like, oh, okay, let me look at him. Nope. He doesn't want to sell me anything. I even hit my F. Nothing happens. And I was like, okay, that's fine. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go over here to the dock master. I think this is a dock master, or maybe just some guy. Yeah, it's just some guy. And he says, look across the sea. That is where you need to go. And I'm like, oh, to use my boat. Duh. You know. So here it is can you please look for a man named Carl when you get there? And I'm like, okay. And then here I'm starting to get an interesting choice. I can get a scepter for my right hand, or I can get a two-handed staff. So since I'm going to start really going sorcerer build as well, I need to start looking at my gear a little better and making sure that I have intelligence, which is going to, help my fireballs, my freezing arrows. I'm going to try to do both. I know that I should pretty much pick a secondary class that uses agility as well, but I'm trying to experiment here and just get a range of the build and different classes in one playthrough instead of, making 2 or 3 different characters just because I want to see what, a sorcerer does, or, I just want to see how it is. So as you can see, I was doing my cloth there, and when your gear expands to the right, you can also do up and down. So make sure you are putting on your gear as much as possible, because since it's early, usually early in games, I don't care with armor that much. Alright, so here we're going to go into the water, because you have to be in the water to summon your boat. And it's a long cast. I didn't know it was going to be so long, but it was. Boom. Look at that boat. Okay, so you get in your boat, and driving it is pretty much like walking. W-A-S-D, of course. But I will tell you that these beginner boats do not turn well at all, so be careful. It is nothing like riding a horse. You oversteer, you understeer. You barely have to turn. I'm holding it down like I'm driving a car. And look at that water. Is that not gorgeous? I really like that. Okay, so as you can see, those are the big boats, and those are actually what you're going to get later in the game. I don't know if you have to build it or if they give it to you, but the way I've been seeing this game lately, you're probably going to have to build it. It's just the details on the summon is the blue. Yellow arrow is disembark, and owner's mark is just where, a minute 30 seconds. You don't let anybody into the boat with you. And this is useless information, but if you click on the lantern, you can turn it off and turn it on. Why do you need that? Don't know yet, but maybe I will in the future.